Hi, my name is Kendra Smith. I have been going to Grace Ministries for the past 8 months, meeting with Charles. And I just wanted to share a couple of things of what God has done, how he's used this in my process personally. I'm a minister at a church. I had been going to counseling for probably 8 or 9 months before coming to Grace. And that counseling process was more from a place of what's the word for it? It was like psychology based, so mind based, and like we talked a lot about breathing and like calming your physical body down from anxiety, which was so good and beneficial and was very helpful. But I could see the Lord shifting what I needed into something just more spirit led. And so when I came to Grace and started talking to Charles, that is what this is. That's exactly what this was. Every time I would come in and sit in this chair each Monday, we always started with a prayer and just invited Jesus to be a part of our conversation, which was a total shift in counseling for me. It was not just about the counselor and the counselee. It was about the Lord leading and the things that Jesus wants to share. And it's not about opinions, or it wasn't about schooling or what Charles has learned in the past. It was about the present and what's coming up in the future. And that was huge for me. So specifically for my story, what I needed was freedom in the area of how I relate to gentlemen, specifically men. My story, just a little bit of my story, comes from hurt from my dad. And just obviously a lot of hurt can come from what you see in culture and what other people experience too. So just all of the men in culture who are unfaithful, and then someone close to me, my dad, was unfaithful. I had written a story in my mind that all men cannot be trusted, and I was not living free in relationships with men. So much so that I wasn't even good at being friends with them. I was just very closed off in general. But through the process of coming to counseling at Grace and the other counseling, the Lord showed me that because I trust in God, I can trust in people. Not because they're trustworthy necessarily, but because I put faith in the only person who will never cheat on me. Like who will never, it is impossible for God to do that. That is opposite of his character. And because I put faith in him and put faith in that opens me up to have a relationship with people. So a long story short, 8 months ago, I was praying about one specific man. His name is Eric. And it totally isn't about what the Lord has done. It is about what God has done. It's not just about this man. But the Lord opened my heart to be inclined to this man. So now, as of a little over a month ago, I am dating him and very free to love him and very free to receive his love. And it is the glory of God. And it is very different than the way I was a year ago, which was very afraid and scared of something, a desire that God had put inside my heart, a deep desire to be a wife and a mother and have a family and pour love out on someone who would receive it. That was not a possibility until I was freed. So praise God, and thank you to Charles, and thank you to Grace Ministries. All glory goes to God, but I am thankful.